Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my dear beautiful girls? Inshallah, now I'm going to explain lesson 2 in unit 1, our region and their region. This lesson starts with talking about the Fertile Crescent, which is a very important and remarkable part from our Middle East, the place in which we live. Why is it called the Fertile Crescent? The word fertile means when the soil is good for growing, when the soil is rich and good for growing crops, we call it fertile. And crescent because it looks like a crescent. Can you see? Look at the map. This is a map of the Fertile Crescent. All this land, it looks like a crescent, right? And the land in this area of the Middle East is so good for farming because it is near 3 rivers, which are Tigris and Euphrates in Iraq and the river Nile in Egypt. That's why it is called the Fertile Crescent. And now let us start talking about the Fertile Crescent. Most of the Middle East is hot and dry. Of course, you know that most of the Middle East is hot and dry and it is desert. However, the Fertile Crescent is a very important part from the Middle East and it is different. It connects Asia and Africa. What's this? Look at the map again. This side is Asia, and across the Red Sea, this side is Africa. Can you see how the Fertile Crescent connects the continent of Asia and the continent of Africa? It has 2 main rivers in addition to the Nile in Egypt. Look at the map again. That map, can you see this is one blue line, another blue line. The first blue line is the Tigris River in Iraq, and the other one is Euphrates River, and this one is the river Nile. So it has 2 main rivers in addition to the Nile in Egypt. What about the landforms or the land in the Fertile Crescent? It has high mountains and low plains. People also lived there thousands of years ago. It was a place where 8 of the world's major crops first grew, like what? Wheat, lentils, and peas. Of course, you know wheat, from which we make flour, lentils, from which we can make the very delicious soup that keep us warm in winter, and peas, which is like the green beans. It has a Mediterranean climate. This is the climate of the Fertile Crescent. And what's the meaning of the Mediterranean climate? That is the Mediterranean Sea. All the countries around the Mediterranean Sea are hot, dry in the summer, cold, rainy in winter. We call such a climate, we call it the Mediterranean climate because it is related to the Mediterranean Sea and the countries around it. Any country that has the same climate, hot, dry in the summer, cold, rainy in winter, is said to have a Mediterranean climate like the Fertile Crescent. This is all what you should know about the Fertile Crescent, the map of it, and these informations, these pieces of information that are highlighted are the most important ones that you should remember very well, because for any quiz I will ask you about them. Now, what is the environment? And mention some common environments in the Middle East. You can see this on the student book pages 84 and 85, but I am helping you with this sheet, and this sheet you can study the lesson actually from this sheet and read the lesson from the student book. Okay, let us start talking about the environment. The environment means all the physical features of our surroundings, or in other words, all the physical features around us, like air, water, soil, buildings, roads, trees, everything around us in the place in which we live. This is the environment. Okay, now let us go to the next page. I told you, or I asked you in the previous page to mention 5 common types of environments. Here are the 5 common types of environments. Here we are going to study 5 common types of environment, which is 1. Desert environment. It is hot and dry with sandy soil. Very few animals and plants live there. Most of the Middle East is desert. Can you see, look at the picture of the desert? Very few plants are there. Only camels and maybe lizards, rabbits can survive in the desert. The plants and the animals that can keep the water, because of course you know that there is very little rain in the desert. Most of the Middle East is desert, and that's why it is the first common type to study in this lesson. The second type is the forest. It has a lot of plants and long and tall trees, not long trees. Water is available all the year. A lot of birds and animals live there. Look here. This is a picture of a forest. The trees are usually tall. All the trees in the forest are tall. Under the trees there are a plentiful of plants and other green plants. Why? Because the rain and the water is available in the forest all the year round. That's why a lot of plants and the trees grow there. Also, whenever we found the trees and plants, we can find lots of animals and birds. This is what is these are the most remarkable things about the forest. The water environment or the ocean. Most of the earth is covered by water. That is the ocean. So when I say the ocean, I mean the water environment, and when I say the water environment, I mean the ocean. Thousands of different kinds of marine animals and plants live there. Also, some of the biggest animals in the world live in the ocean, like the blue whales. Again, the other kind of or the fourth type of environment in our lesson today is the tundra. Look at the picture of the tundra. Everywhere is snow and ice. No mountains, no homes, no plants, no trees. Only polar bears are walking here. Because the tundra is very cold and windy, with the ground frozen for most of the year. It is too cold for trees to grow, and also very few animals can live there, such as the polar bears and the white foxes. This is the tundra. This is another type of environment. The last type to study in our lesson is the savanna. Why is it called the savanna? Look at the picture. Can you see what is under the feet of these zebras? You can find some kind of tall grass. This tall grass is called the savanna, and that's why this environment is called the savanna. Let us say or talk about the savanna. It's a type of grassland with low trees. Again, low trees. But the forest has tall trees. The savanna, the grass of savanna with low trees. It's famous for wildlife such as lions, zebras, giraffes, and elephants, and so on. So this is savanna. It's similar somehow to the forest in that it has a lot of animals, it has a lot of trees, but the trees in the forest are tall, the trees in the savanna are low. Here we have mostly the savanna grass. Now, it's time to know how the environments can affect where we live and what we do. What's the meaning of this? Let us see. We can say that the environments can affect where we live. In other words, we can ask, in order to make it clear, in which environment do people prefer to live? Sometimes people prefer or decide to live in some environments and never decide or never want to live in other environments. Why? Look here at these two pictures. Here is a picture of a tundra, and this is a picture of a village in which we can see a lot of fields, grown plants, simple homes, the blue sky. Of course, here you can see or you can find a lot or plentiful of water. So, in which place would people prefer to live? I think people would prefer to live in such a place because it is suitable for life and safe for life, and that's why you can see a lot of homes here. But here, no homes can be seen. Let us read. Communities settle in areas that have natural resources and suitable or safe for life. For example, areas near rivers which have plentiful of water, or land that is good for farming, and coastal areas where it is easy to trade by ship. In these places, people can live and settle forever, build homes, and start their lives. But people do not like to live in areas that are not suitable for life, or areas that has no water or natural resources, or areas that are too hot or too cold or dangerous to live in. People will never choose to settle in a forest or a desert or even in the tundra, because living there or life there is very dangerous and they cannot live safely. This is how the environment can affect where we live and can affect our choice where to live. Here, how can the environment affect what we do? How do environments affect what we do? Some areas can attract people to come to live there, like the Middle East. Do you remember when we studied the lesson about the colonization of the Middle East? We said that the Middle East was attractive for the colonizers and the empire builders. Why? Many people have moved through our region, and when I say our region, I mean the Middle East, over centuries. It's your turn now to think, and can you write 4 reasons for that? 4 reasons that made people move and come to our region or come to the Middle East over centuries. You can find these reasons on page 87 in your student books. Okay? If you study these reasons very well, you can understand how the Middle East is attractive, and the environment in the Middle East attracted so many people to come to the Middle East to do certain things that can only be done here in the Middle East. Finally, I have a question for you to think about, and we discussed it in the period today. How many people come to Mecca? How many people usually come to Mecca and Medina every year, and why? Some of you said thousands. I myself can say millions. Why? The people have been coming for Mecca since the time of Prophet Ibrahim. Can you count the people that come to Mecca or came to Mecca or still coming to Mecca from the time of Prophet Ibrahim until now? Countless. It's a countless number. Why? Because Mecca has the house of Allah, the Kaaba. And of course, Medina has the grave of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Prophet's mosque. Millions of Muslims come from all over the world every year to for pilgrim to perform Hajj or Umrah. And that's why we said that the Middle East is attractive, either for religious reasons or for other reasons that you will read in the book on page 87. I hope that you understand the lesson about the environments, and thanks for being with me. Goodbye till we meet again.